Most of what we know of Saint Monica comes from the description of her, given by her son, Saint Augustine in his book, Confessions. Monica was born around the year 332, probably in the North African city of Tagaste. At an early age, she was married to a pagan, named Patricius, and had 3 children survive infancy. Monica wanted them baptized, but her husband refused. She was known to have wept much for the moral and theological waywardness of her son, Augustine. When Augustine secretly left North Africa for Rome, Monica followed him first to Rome, and then to Milan, where they met Saint Ambrose, Bishop of Milan. It was in Milan that Saint Augustine was baptized. As Monica, Augustine, and his brother prepared to return home to North Africa, Monica died in the Italian city of Ostia. She was 56 years old when she died in 387. She is the patroness of mothers.
My mother, your faithful one, wept to you on my behalf, more than mothers are wont to weep the bodily death of their children. For she saw that I was dead, by that faith and spirit which she had from you, and you heard her, O Lord. You heard her, and did not despise her tears, when pouring down, they watered the earth under her eyes, in every place where she prayed. Yes, you heard her. For whence was that dream with which you consoled her, so that she permitted me to live with her, and to have my meals at the same table in the house, which she had begun to avoid, hating and detesting the blasphemies of my error. Book 3, Chapter 11. You gave her another answer, by a priest of yours, a certain bishop brought up in your church, and well studied in your books. When this woman had entreated him to promise to converse with me, refute my errors, unteach me ill things, and teach me good things, for this he was wont to do, when he found persons fitted to receive it. He wisely refused, as I afterwards perceived. For he answered, that I was yet unteachable, being puffed up with the novelty of that heresy, and had already perplexed divers unskilful persons, with esoteric questions, as she had told him, but let him alone a while, said he, only pray God for him, he will, of himself, by reading, find what that error is, and how great its impiety. At the same time, he told her, how he himself, when a little one, had by his seduced mother been consigned over to the Manichees, and had not only read, but frequently copied out, almost all their books, and had, without any argument or proof from any one, seen how much that sect was to be avoided. And had avoided it. When even after he had said this, she would not be satisfied, but urged him more, with entreaties and many tears, that he would see me and discourse with me. He, a little displeased at her persistence, said, Go your way, and God bless you, for it is not possible that the son of these tears should perish. Which answer she took, as she often mentioned in her conversations with me, as if it had sounded from heaven. Book 3, Chapter 12. The devout people kept watch in the church, ready to die with their bishop, your servant. There my mother, your handmaid, bearing a chief part of those anxieties and watchings, lived for prayer. We, yet unwarmed by the heat of your spirit, still was stirred up by the sight of the amazed and disquieted city. It was, then, first instituted, that after the manner of the Eastern churches, hymns and psalms should be sung, lest the people should grow faint through the tediousness of sorrow. And from that day to this, the custom is retained in diverse, yea, almost all, your congregations, throughout other parts of the world. Book 9, Chapter 7. Such things was I speaking, and even if not in this very manner and these same words, yet, Lord, you know that in that day, when we were speaking of these things, and this world with all its delights, became contemptible to us, my mother said,
Son, for my own part, I have no further delight in anything in this life. What I am to do here, and why I am here, I do not know, now that my hopes in this world are accomplished. There was one thing, for which I desired to linger for a while in this life, that I might see you become a Catholic Christian before I died. My God has done this for me more abundantly, in that I should now see you, despising earthly happiness, and having become his servant. What more do I do here?
What answer I made her about these things, I remember not. For scarce 5 days after, or not much more, she fell sick of a fever. And in that sickness one day, she fell into a swoon, and was for a while withdrawn from these visible things. We hastened round her, but she was soon brought back to her senses. And looking on me and my brother standing by her, said to us inquiringly,
"Where was I?" And then looking fixedly on us, with grief amazed. "Here," she said, "shall you bury your mother."
I held my peace and refrained weeping. But my brother spoke something, wishing for her, as the happier lot, that she might die, not in a strange place, but in her own land. Whereat, she with anxious look, checking him with her eyes, for that he still savoured such things, and then looking upon me, she said,
"Behold, what he said, and soon after to us both, she said, Lay this body anywhere, let not the care for that in any way disquiet you, this only I request, that you would remember me at the Lord's altar, wherever you be."
And having delivered this sentiment, in what words she could, she held her peace, being exercised by her growing sickness. Book 9, Chapter 10 and 11.